The Prime Minister made it clear in the meeting that all the commitments which have been given in the Andhra Pradesh Reorganisation Act are fully binding, and each one of those commitments, which is in the shape of a law, on basis of which the division of the state took place, would be implemented. Now, there are broadly three areas which are covered in that. The first is under Section 46, which covers the revenue deficit positions. There is a little hangover of the deficit of the last year, and our officers and the officers of the state are going to sit together and work out the quantums which are required. From this year onward, for the next 5 years, the deficit has been specified by the Finance Commission itself, so it does not require to be calculated. There is no discretion involved in that. Thereafter, certain 2 tax concessions have already been announced. With regard to investment allowance and additional depreciation, those are already in existence for any investment made in the state. The opinion of the state was that they need some more relief so as to invite industries to come up and settle in the state. The state has also made some alternative suggestions, by virtue of which we could more than cover up for some set of recommendations and the spirit of the 14th Finance Commission. Then there are also provisions with regard to assistance in building the capital. Some initial grant has been given. The Chief Minister has invited the Honourable Prime Minister at the foundation stone laying of the new capital on the Vijayadashmi Day. And after going through all the provisions and the commitments which have been made by the central government, the Prime Minister has requested and directed the Vice Chairperson of the Niti Aayog, Dr. Arvind Panigriya, to prepare a list and schedule expeditiously of all the commitments which are contained in the Act itself, where the state is to be helped. Now, one of the issues was outside the commitment made in the Act, there was an announcement also made by the former Prime Minister. Now, how that is to be reconciled with the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission, which came subsequently.
That announcement is also the basis for the fabrication of the statement. You have to agree for that.
So that entire issue, or as to the alternate methodology by which additional funding can come to the state, so that notwithstanding the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission, the state gets a special assistance in order to cover up for the loss. Now, all these suggestions which were discussed, Dr. Panigriya has been asked to prepare a list of them. We'll be putting it up to the Finance Minister very shortly, to the Prime Minister very shortly. And thereafter, the Prime Minister will take a final view. I am quite hopeful that this will not take a very long time, because we've had a series of discussions. Meanwhile, while this is all happening, the different areas of assistance, whether it is in terms of revenue deficit grant, or it is in terms of projects, or it is in terms of backward district assistance which has been given to the state, all that has been continuing, and in the normal flow that will all continue, but a more specific shape to this will be announced by the Prime Minister after he receives the recommendations of the Niti Aayog in this regard.
Special status?
No, I've already said all these factors Of course, the state is absolutely firm that they want the announcement of the Prime Minister, former Prime Minister, to be implemented. Now, there has to be a reconciliation between that and the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission, and whether and in what manner the state could be compensated, because ultimately it is not the more than the name, it is the substance of the grant which the state needs for the industrialization, infrastructure and the new capital. That's the core of it. So in what way can the state be compensated in that reconciliation? All that will be recommended by Dr. Panigria.
That is not only an announcement. Not only an announcement, then the erstwhile government cabinet also, the last cabinet meeting of the UPA government has approved the announcement and directed the planning commission.
Yeah, I'm aware of all this. Don't worry. We are aware of all this.
The finance commission recommendation came much later.
recommended or suggested to announce special package for Bihar. Anyway, you announced it. If I put in this way, in Andhra Pradesh, the elections are over, so that's why you are not announcing any package.
No, it
the
is
elections
no question at all. You see, whether you call it a special assistance or you call it a package or you call it enforcement of whatever has been committed in the law. Now, it's not the name, it's really the substance of what the state gets. And I can assure you one thing, that the state will fully get its due, because we are also interested after the bifurcation in Andhra Pradesh growing quickly.
Sir, BJP only wanted that time for the special status for 10 years. The then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh made a promise on the floor of the House on this special status. You people, you and Mr.
I'm conscious of that.
Yeah, but you demanded for 10 years the special status. So still do you...
You see, it is the substance of what constitutes that status. The status has some financial implications.
Okay.
Now we are looking at the substance of what constitutes those financial implications.
Without naming, you want to do something?
You see, all that I am saying is that whatever is the financial implication, because after all there has to be a certain set of funding which takes place to the state. Now, let us concentrate on that funding, and that is what we are doing. Now, how that is to be made in terms of what the Finance Commission has said, what the assurances have been done, that reconciliation is going to be recommended by Dr. Panigria.
Otherwise also you can put that words, you mean to say that you are not going to, it is not possible to...
I am not saying anything.
special status.
No question at all. I am not saying.
You are not even naming it. You are not ready to name
No,
it.
I am not making that announcement. It will come only after the Prime Minister has received those recommendations.
Sir,
when any time frame, sir? Is there any time?
He'll do it expeditiously. That's what he's been requested.
बाइफर्केशन जब बिल टेबल पे आया था हाल में, लीडर ऑफ द लोकसभा सुषमा जी की तरफ पूरा तेलंगाना समाज देख रहा था, और राज्यसभा में आप प्रो लीडर थे और पूरा आंध्र समाज आपके तरफ देख रहा था. And you on the floor of the house at the historical time.
देखिए हमारा
10 years.
10 years for
हम लोगों ने देखिए हम लोगों ने
is well known for its stand.
Are you going back or committed for it?
No question of anybody going back on this position. आंध्र प्रदेश के लिए जो इकोनॉमिक राइट्स थे, आंध्र प्रदेश को ग्रो करने के लिए जो फ्लोर ऑफ द हाउस पे जिसके लिए हम लोगों ने संघर्ष किया था, मतलब उसी की वजह से तो सारी एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं हम लोग.
But this special status is a political problem for TDP, sir. That's why they are insisting on special status.
Well, we are interested in solving economic problem of the state.
So what is the AP economic condition?
The issue is economic. After all, whether you call it special assistance or special status, it has to be translated into money.
But they want the
Sir,
particular name, special
Chauhan
status.
Committee also given his reports saying that Himalayan state calling this 11 states of this special status.
Well, that they have to make public
So-
as yet.
So what is making you?
No, that
What
report,
is preventing
that
you to call
a final
this
view,
status?
a final view on that report is still to be taken. So don't-
Okay, that's okay. But what is making you to call it the special AP?
Let us see what that committee has said. Because I am not assuming what you are saying that the committee has said.
So being a finance
Already,
minister, how you see
whatever
the
the problems of the Andhra Pradesh, you already aware that, and the list of the problems already you have been. So why again you are asking the list of the problems and list of the?
No, there is a mechanism created in the Niti Aayog which has to take these decisions. So that mechanism is going to now we are going through that whole process. After all, a process has to be followed. It can't be a decision of, it has to be an institutional decision.
We have given package to Bihar without all these mechanisms, sir.
You see, let's keep the problems of each state separate.
So being a finance minister, how you see what is the economic condition of the Andhra Pradesh when you compare to Bihar? Right now it's a 15,000.
You see, why should I compare states? Andhra Pradesh has a statutory commitment. That commitment which has been given has to be honored.
Outside the statutory, also outside the bill, what are the
You see, whatever the state requires it, the process has been created.
What would be the quantum of this special package, sir? Can you quantify that special package?
We have to await it now.
So how?
Both the name and the quantum, you will have to wait for some more
Will it be
time.
more than Bihar package or?
Mr. Jaitley,
Wait.
let him see.
I am not specifying anything.
I just want to know, I mean, the time frame you have fixed for this recommendation. Will it be before that Vijay Dashmi program, or it will be on that day?
Let's wait. It should be done quite soon. That's all I can say.
Before Bihar elections?
No,
No,
Bihar
Bihar
elections
has
has nothing to do with this.
You have already taken 14
Bihar
months
has
for this,
nothing to do with
this
this.
exercise.
No, but in 14 months, you see, a lot of assistance has been given to the state also. It is not that, after all, institutions are coming up. Last year, the state was assisted in order to get out of this. I am not saying center has done any favor, because that's the right of the newly created state which has lost certain areas.
AP is demand 1.35 lakh crores for this capital.
No, he's not a demand.
You see, I'll tell you, that's a model which the state has to develop. The state will have to develop. After all, other states are also developing capital. The new Raipur is being developed. Gandhinagar has been developed. So you have now models. But since AP is the last one which is going to develop, I have no doubt that on basis of the site that they have selected, it will be a role model capital. And a large part of the capital infrastructure, government buildings, this is what the state has to support. This is what the center will help the state in creating. The rest can also come out of the land resource of the capital itself.
So,
So I think, as you said, there will be two packages for Andhra Pradesh. One on behalf of special status, you are substituting the special status one package, and you are giving the.
You now draw your own conclusion.
So now special status become sentimental issue for public. How will you satisfy people sentimental?
Andhra Pradesh will get a lot more than what you are expecting and what that sentiment is expecting.
so how much time is
Not very long.
to do
Not
the,
very
to
long.
complete the
Not very
homework
long.
by Niti Aayog and to
CM will be interacting with you. I will take leave.
He's having some other program.
जीएसटी बिल अगर आता है पास होता तो उससे भी आंध्रा को और फायदा होगा। आपको लगता है कि उसके लिए स्पेशल सेशन बुलाए जाने की जरूरत है कि कुछ बात बनी है अपोजिशन से?
नहीं, सारी ऑपोजिशन को क्यों उसमें डालते हो? ऑपोजिशन तो सारी हमारे साथ है जीएसटी पे. अगर बाकी लोग शांति से चलने दे तो कभी भी हो सकता है. एक ही पार्टी है सिर्फ जो शोर मचा रही है.
Incentives कैसा रहता है सर? GST आने के बाद AP को.
Have you been able to approach the Congress party on the GST?
Pardon?
Have you been able to do some talks with the Congress party on the GST? Have you approached them?
The talks are never held through media.
Have you approached them?
Thank you.